is November 3rd. We will call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown?
Here.
Amy Grantham?
Here.
Nancy Hopper?
Present.
Katie Jess?
Here.
John Cody?
Here.
Amy Smith?
Here.
Sarah Whitney?
Here. Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have before you the approval of the previous minutes. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown?
Aye.
Amy Grantham?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jess?
Aye.
John Cody?
Aye.
Amy Smith?
Aye.
Sarah Whitney?
Aye.
Next, you have the agenda. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown?
Aye.
Amy Grantham?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jess?
Aye.
John Cody?
Aye.
Mindy Smith?
Aye.
Sarah Whitney?
Aye.
Okay, 2, we have opportunity for audience. We have a guest this evening who would like to visit with us. Kenya.
Thank you.
No pressure.
So since I started working, I've been recently looking at the pages from different schools on what has been going up and what needs to be addressed. And what was brought to my attention after researching different schools was that even though we have an athletics page, that there wasn't a main focus, especially for the high school. And I started creating one, starting with the fall sports this fall. And as you guys can see, I focused on the 6 sports of this fall. And especially, I talked to the coaches and everyone to see what they wanted on their page. So for instance, if we look at football, here you can see that there's team links, so streaming games, purchasing tickets, the 2025-2026 roster, max prep info, and then coaches' contact information. And it's just for parents to be informed, like, hey, I can go watch the game online if I can't. Roster, know who's on there, and then coaches' info just in case parents that their kids aren't telling them like who their coaches are or anything like that. And then I also included photos that were provided to me as well by Erin. And from there, we also have this roster, which shows who's playing and what their position is, I believe, as well, and grade and everything. And then if you go back as well, we also have their schedule, and that also includes like the photos, and then some people might not know what the mascots is, so I also included actual visual text, so that way parents are aware of that as well. And then if you scroll more down, I also included their sponsors, because their sponsors is a big thank you for helping them with donations, anything that the sports teams need. So I included that as well. I talked to Chisholm and the other coaches, and they informed me who was on there, so I included them as a big thank you. And then if you scroll more down, I have also included, I'm trying to get away in there where there can be a gallery of season highlights, so that way by next year, parents can send in photos to the coaches or to anyone, and then I can just upload them. And then with cross country, for instance, I had the pleasure of talking to one of the coaches.
Oops, what is this? Look, this takes us to there. That link does.
Oh, there's something. And to your right, well, whatever way you're facing, you can see that I asked the coach what he wanted in player of the week, something to include his athletes. And he told me that they do a PR of the week. So he sends me photos of how they improve each week and the students that he wanted to include. So there's pictures of them from their last final meet. And then I have also talked to the other clubs as well, so that way I'm not just focusing on sports. For instance, who did I start with? FCCLA. I uploaded their pages because their website hasn't been uploaded and fixed since 2020. So I adjusted that as well. And then I started with choir, letting them know. And I'm gonna be continuing to email a bunch of sponsors and coaches from now on what they want to include on their pages. And then by next year, I want to start in the middle school as well.
Questions, anyone?
So are you the gatekeeper for all that? You're not giving the coaches where they can load stuff to their own page?
That I have to talk to Galen about how that works, but
Yeah, well, you stay the gatekeeper.
yeah, that's right now.
I'm trying to get it. Have them send it to you because somebody will upload stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing an awesome job. It looks great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenya.
Thank you.
I expected nothing less than a good job. Tell your folks hello.
I will.
And Hobby.
I will.
You're welcome to stay, you're welcome to go home.
Okay. But thank you.
All right.
Okay, next we have reports. We have 3A, Fort Morgan High School Student Representative.
Hi, honestly I didn't come prepared with anything, but we just finished volleyball. We had our last game on Thursday against Waldona, and we took them in 3. It was a good game, a little bit challenging at the end, but it was good. And the football boys have their last game this Friday against Severance at Severance, so they had their last home game here on Friday. The fall play is coming up soon. I think it's in a week or 2, so that'll be exciting. And you will find out all-state choir, like who made it, in about 2 to 3 weeks, and with combined league honors choir, we will find that out in about 4 weeks. Thank you.
Awesome. Good job. Next we have the Board of Ed. I'm just letting everyone kind of giving you a heads up. I know we have CASB coming up here pretty soon in the springs, but the NSBA conference this year will be April 10, 11 in San Antonio. Just giving you kind of a heads up of when that is, where it's going to be, so that you can kind of start planning ahead. If you're in, and Bev, I believe that would be John, Katie, Amy, and me, right? Okay, would be in line for that one. Next, superintendent.
Okay, so last Thursday night, we had 2 senators come. Senator Byron Pelton from Sterling and Senator Chris Colker. He's down in the Littleton area, I believe. And both of them spent the day touring, I think like 5 different school districts out here in northeast Colorado. There was Akron and Lone Star and Marino, Fort Morgan, Weldon Valley, and Prairie, I believe. We did not have enough time to tour all our buildings. They only gave us like 50 minutes, but I did get to go spend some time with them out in Marino for a lunch conversation where we put in the room our concerns regarding declining enrollment, budget issues the state's facing, and just several other things that we feel are pretty important right now. Here to Fort Morgan and spent probably 50 minutes with them, just showing it off our district a little bit. And at that, Javi Molina got to come and perform for the first 5 minutes, and it was a very nice job. And with that, when we go to CASB, I want to let you guys know that Javier has been asked to come down and perform at CASB. And he, in the foyer of the Broadmoor, where everybody registers on the first day, I think it's the 11th, the morning at 7:45. He'll have his big fiddle there. I tease him all the time, he'll play a big fiddle. He'll have his cello there, and he'll be able to play out in that 45 minutes, and people get to walk by and see one of our students on display at Casby, which I think is really good for Fort Morgan and really good and great for Javier. Such a good kid. Wanted you to know that we are just now wrapping up the contract with services on Pioneer Elementary. I showed you some of the designs last week, last meeting, hasn't changed much since then. We still don't have a cost estimate on it. I do know that we are getting in the vestibule, bulletproof glass, so that'll be nice to have in there. But other than that, we're hoping that the design we've come up with is under that limit we put on it, and hopefully we move forward with that. And then I just wanted to mention, I wanted to thank everybody who was involved with helping getting the services together for Mr. Dinner today. Grounds maintenance, Greg Edson, Clint Anderson, the whole crew up at the high school who put that together. Mr. Dinner sure will be missed.
Next, we have Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, and Art Frasco is not here this evening, and so we're going to go right on to 3E, Assistant Superintendent of HR, please.
Good evening. I don't have a lot either. Excuse me. Personal action report is in front of me. It's fairly short, which is nice. This one is a bit quieter as far as hiring and movement goes. We have not a lot of job postings either. Administratively, 0 certified. We've got 2 unclassified. We have 3 coaching, 1, and it's just our standard substitute postings that we have all the time. We are kind of knowing where our numbers are coming in out right now, just kind of stay ahead of the game with the employee attrition. So when we have somebody who's leaving, we're really evaluating whether we can reorganize a little bit within the building. I'm not sure whether to take care of that now instead of later on having to release somebody. So we're looking at those pretty heavily as that movement happens, just kind of in preparation for what we could face next year. And then finally, American Fidelity, you guys have heard me talk about them coming in and providing some services to our staff. We're in the process of that. They will have open enrollment December 1st through 12th, where they'll be meeting with all of our staff for about 30 minutes each. They are not high-pressure sales. They don't work on commissions. There's education opportunities. We will also do our section to take advantage of starting January 1, which also hopefully will roll over FSA or HRAs in January as well, with American Fidelity to manage those. Other than that, I don't have anything to share. Questions?
I don't have any questions, but I would just like to say I appreciate through the employee attrition that you and Rob are looking forward and being proactive on it. I think that's a greatly good move.
It's a smart move, right?
It's a very smart move, so thank you. 3F, the Chief Financial Officer, Tony?
Okay, as I was preparing for audit, they're on site now. I always go through and make sure that we're in compliance with our expenditures, and there were 3 funds that we needed to address because they were overspent for what we allocated. The first one is food services. We need to allocate an additional $250,000. This still puts us in a good balance for fund balance. At the end of this year, we're anticipating about $303,000. And as you know, in previous years, we were on a spend down plan because we had too much in fund balance. So it is something that CDE really looks at. The next one was insurance fund. And if you remember last year, we got a big insurance settlement for the roofs. And so our fund balance was quite high. And then I wasn't sure when they were actually going to start working on the roofs. And so they did towards the end of the fiscal year. So we need to allocate $1.5 million for the expenditures that we spent on the roof. And then after that, our fund balance and insurance will still be $344,000, which that's not a money-making fund, so that's a very healthy number to be at. We're fine. And the final one was scholarship fund, which kind of surprised me, I don't know how that got by me, but they overspent by $1,000 on scholarships. So we need to allocate an additional $1,050. And then looking at the fund balance, it has $157,000 in fund balance, which it's not enough a money-making fund either. So we may wanna come up with a plan in the future on how to get some of that money out to the students. I think this last fiscal year, we had a lot better response to scholarships than the previous year. I know that they were concerned that kids weren't even applying. So anyway, these 3 items will clean us up and get us in compliance when we finish out our audit.
Okay, thank you. Okay, coming up next, discussion items 4A, the Fort Morgan High School softball program. You have before you some data that we presented actually at the last meeting that we had with Mr. Edson. Anybody have any discussion? I will say that I think anytime we can offer a sports activity for any of our students, it's a great opportunity. I personally feel that although it would be great that we are facing some financial things that we need to be very careful about where we spend our money with lack of funding coming in, and also the concern that there didn't seem to be a lot of interest from some of the surveys that we have out. So I just wanted to express those 2 items of concern moving forward. If anyone else has anything they'd like to discuss on that? Moving on, 4B, we have district revision, second reading. Looking at those, we went over those a lot, there's 3 of them. Mainly having to do with immunization and medication administration. Any discussion? Moving along to 4C, district revisions. There are quite a few here, however, I will attest that the majority are just some verbiage, kind of cleaning up some words in all of these. The only 2 that really probably had more meat to them were in, let's see if I can get down here a little far enough, the GBJ-R, maybe that one was it. Which ones were they, Bev? It was the 2 with this.
GCBA-R.
Yep.
And I took that to Jason. There's, the current policy does not match our current practice on paying salaries.
Right.
So I took it to Jason, had him review, made sure that those were accurate, and he approved that. And then.
The other one having to do with mileage, I think.
Yes,
For personnel.
DKCR, we've got a couple of people in the, couple of title changes that were made on here. And then Shelley O'Connor is our culturally and linguistically diverse education director. And she's rarely in our building because she's always at the other buildings. And so I talked to Tony and they said that increasing how much money she was receiving. And then our Title I-CA specialist is at our high school, but she also goes to all of the other schools. It's Sakura Mankata, and she drives all over everywhere too all year. So we added her to that.
So those are the 2 policies I would recommend that you look at. The rest of them were pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Any discussion on those? Moving right along, we have the consent agenda. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Amy Grantham,
Aye.
Nancy Hopper,
Aye.
Katie Jess,
Aye.
John Proudy,
Aye.
Mindy Smith,
Aye.
Sarah Whitney.
Next, 6 action items. 6A, the 2024-2025 appropriating resolution. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Amy Grantham,
Aye.
Nancy Hopper,
Aye.
Katie Jess,
Aye.
John Proudy,
Aye.
Mindy Smith,
Aye.
Sarah Whitney.
Next, we have 6D, the Fort Morgan High School softball program. I'm going to read exactly what the recommendation is so that we understand for sure. The recommendation is I recommend the board approve the girls softball program at the Fort Morgan High School beginning the year 26-27. Voting yea is a vote to begin the program. Voting nay is a vote against beginning the softball program. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Nay.
Amy Grantham,
Nay.
Nancy Hopper,
Nay.
Katie Jess,
Nay.
John Proudy,
Nay.
Mindy Smith,
Nay.
Sarah Whitney.
Next, we have 60 various monetary donations. There's the Blodorn Foundation donation of $10,000 for the playground equipment at Green Acres Elementary School. Blodorn Foundation donation of $20,000 for scholarship awards for the Fort Morgan High School. The Colorado Preps LLC donation of $100 for the turkey trot at Columbine Elementary School. ICF, consulting donation of $1,200 to our wellness program. And the Taylor Insurance Agency donation of $100 for the turkey trot at Columbine Elementary School. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Amy Grantham,
Aye.
Nancy Hopper,
Aye.
Katie Jess,
Aye.
John Proudy,
Aye.
Mindy Smith, Sarah Whitney.
Next, we have advanced planning. The Board of Education is invited to Sherman Early Childhood Center for Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday, November 13th from 11 to 12:30. The Board of Education reorganization meeting begins at 6:30 on November 17th. The regular Board of Education meeting will follow the reorganization meeting and begin at 7 on November 17th. Fall break is November 25th through the 29th. The Board of Education meetings in December is December 8th. The CASB 85th Annual Convention is December 11th through the 13th. That'll be down in Colorado Springs. Columbine Elementary School is hosting Christmas dinner on Thursday, December 11th. Winter break is December 22nd through January 5th. And the first Board of Education meeting will be January 12th in 2026. Is there any further business to come before the board at this time? If not, we will be adjourned at 7:21.